Right, it is that time, 7 o'clock. So the first thing I want to do is do the reveal of the frames that we've got. There we go. Hopefully everybody can see that okay. This is the new one for tonight's game, Little Lost Ram. Yeah, the scene looks amazing. So I want to do a big shout out to Finley for all his hard work in doing this. Let's put this together. Cyberpunk. We've got a few different things here in the fact that we've got my ugly mug. Here we have the chat down one side. Obviously, I think that's our Twitter address. We've got an inventory that is blank at the moment. We've got the support up there for donations and support, which I'll come on to in a minute. And then the Oriental icons down the side represent our memory. So I can manipulate those like this as they can be switched off, representing us. Oh, thank you for the follow, John. Really appreciate it. So that, for those of you who've seen the candles game that we run, is an indication of similar sort of thing, but cyberpunked up. I'm just doing a general chat to wait for some people to jump in and catch up before we go onto the rules of what we're doing today. We're up to 11 viewers now, which is absolutely amazing. Hey, John, really appreciate you jumping in, and thanks very much for the follow. A purple hobnob, yeah, thanks for the follow earlier as well. Really appreciate that. It's going to be an interesting one today. Hey, Matt, I hope you're going to enjoy this. And there is the Dark Mistress of eBay as well. Indeed, baseball bats. I'm really pleased that you can make it. It's going to be an interesting one, as I say. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll go through how the game's going to run. I've got pages and pages of information. Won't take long to go through, just so you've got a rough idea. And then it is pretty much like playing a normal roleplay game, except all of you are the consciousness of this character. And I'm being very non-specific about the character in terms of I want you all to visualize it in your own individual ways. So I'm not giving it a gender or an appearance. One of the things I'm going to be really interested with is seeing and hearing maybe what and how you visualize it. No, it's okay, John. Support is always welcome. Really appreciate it. We're going to be doing a lot of this sort of ongoing. We're also looking at putting some live games on as well. So this is very much kind of the start of taking it a little bit more sort of organized and seriously. Although I do like my after dark sort of chill out sessions as well. The game itself is really straightforward. You can pop in and out of it. It'll take you a little bit to sort of catch up on, but the concept is that you don't have to sit here for the full 3 hours if you don't want to. I know that 3 hours is quite a long time and quite a big sort of commitment. I really appreciate everybody that has jumped in for the moment to have a look. but the narrative is guided by everybody in chat. Um, and we really appreciate people, by the way, just shouting up and speaking in chat. One of the metrics that Twitch uses is how many people are speaking in your chat, and just having people just saying hi and how you're doing and stuff is both supportive to me, but also helps all of our metrics. We need to get as many people chatting as possible. So it is 5 past now, so the appointed time. Cheers, Hobnob. I appreciate it. Oh, and we have a follow there from Electric Spares. Thank you very much. So, whilst you, the community, are chatting, I'm just going to go through a few of the, I don't like the word rules, but how the game's actually going to come. So, for those of you who didn't hear my opening intro, once again, a big shout out to Finley, who put together this scene, which is awesome, and helps us facilitate the game. So, without him, it would have looked, well, you'd just been looking at my ugly face basically, and you've still got that, but you've got all the pretty things around it as well. I am lit up like a Christmas tree. So without further ado, you're all going to be playing the same character. You are a collective consciousness for that character. We're going to control that character's actions by polls. Anyone in chat can vote in the poll. Really easy to do. It should flash up. If you are on your phone or some other mobile device, you might need to check your settings to sort of see. Thanks there, Brooks, for bringing that up as well. So pretty straightforward. That is happening. Occasionally, you will have to occasionally do an active action. When an active action is needed, you will need to make a roll. We'll ask somebody in chat to make that roll. All you will need to do is put exclamation mark and roll in the message, and it will roll for you. Relatively straightforward. It will determine a success or failure. Mechanically, we're using the dice rolling of 10 candles. So whilst the memory, which is represented by the icons here, is on 10, you'll be rolling, in effect, 10 dice. If you get a 6, at any one of those dice gets a 6, it's a success. If you don't get a 6, it is a failure. Any ones you get, though, are reduced from that pool of dice. So even with 10 dice, eventually it will go down to no dice. We're not necessarily starting on 10 dice either. Then when we go across to the next icon, it's 9 dice, then 8 dice, 7 dice, 6 dice, 5 dice, etc. So the less memory that we've got, the harder it is for us to achieve anything. So that is that. Memory can be regained via successes and sometimes completing tasks and gaining certain types of equipment as well. So that is it simply. There's a couple of ways that you can manipulate that as well by supporting the stream. Firstly, thank you for everybody jumping in and taking part. But we have a donations thing up here for support. If you want to do a re-roll, you can donate £1, and that will get you an automatic re-roll. You will just be re-rolling the dice, and it'll be from the current dice pool though. If you want to go deeper, £5 will refill an entire memory slot. So if you are down to just 2 dice in the 10 slot pool, you go back up to 10 dice. And there's something very special, which is £10, which will get you the ability to speak a truth. Now, a truth is something that changes the game world. Um, it is something that either creates an NPC, creates a location, creates a theme to the game as well. Truths just give you the ability to add your own ideas and content to the game. They don't necessarily act as anything that makes it sort of positive or negative, but they can be either. Um, Other than that, if at the moment everybody's struggling for cash, the other ways that you can support the stream is give us a follow, speak up in chat. Um, and if you've got Amazon Prime and you haven't subscribed to any other Twitch channel, you get one free a month. So you can easily do that as well. And that will help us sort of raise some cash to buy better equipment and stuff like this. World building. You don't need to know a lot about the game itself and the world about it, due to the fact that you will be helping build the world. You're also playing a character that has no memory at the moment, and as you have no memory, you'll be learning about the world as you're going on. It makes everything so much simpler as well. As I said earlier, I'd love to hear about your visions of how your character is and looks. What is interesting about this psychologically is I'm guessing everybody will have different ideas about who their character is, and hence I'm not even going to name the character. It's just known as the character. Um, there will be decisions of which directions you want to go morally as well. This is going to be very interesting to see psychologically as you as a collective will control that. Other than that, just sit back, enjoy the story as it unfolds. What is exciting for me is I literally have no idea how fast you'll get through the content I've created or how slowly. If it is successful, we will do more. I've got a few other ideas as well for a fantasy version of this, horror version, and a Vampire the Masquerade version. So plenty of opportunities. Unlike the game that we run or have been running sort of between 10:30 and 11, you can ask me questions in chat as well. So if you, with polls, it's very cut and dry sometimes. It's like we go north, south, or east. You might want to ask me some questions. This is more of a RPG than a just find your own adventure. So we will put a time on questions being shouted out, but we will see how it goes. So without further ado, I am very, very excited about this. Let us enter the world of flesh and metal. Let us tell a cyberpunk story. And chapter 1 is Little Lost Ram. It is at first dark, and then you feel the heat. You feel the sun shining down upon you. The heat is warm and comforting. You think you are in a meadow outside as you can hear the buzzing of bees humming around. The buzzing gets louder and louder and louder, and then it bites, it stings, it hurts, and that brings you into consciousness. The heat is not the sun. The heat is a stark lamp shining down upon you. The buzzing is not bees. It is a saw, an electric saw spinning and cutting into your flesh. Dazed, coming out of who knows what comatose state, you hear a couple of voices. One saying, his organs are worthless, but there's some quality tech inside his head. Wait there. He's moving. He's not dead. Hold him down. Hold him down now. We'll take the tech regardless. And that is the first situation you find yourself in. You rapidly blink, clearing your eyes. You see that you're in a filthy, dirty room, blood dried and caked on the floor. Two large individuals standing over you, one of you trying to hold you down while the other one has this buzzsaw in its hand, ready to extract whatever technology is in your body. Difficult choices. What do you do? And it goes without saying, you have absolutely no idea how you've arrived here or who you are, but I thought I might mention that. You talk in chat while I create these. There's not an easy way to sort of cut and paste the polls. Plus, also, I want to be a little bit responsive to questions that you have as well. So I don't want it all to be sort of preset. So, what do you do? Okay, so this is quite exciting. It's the very first poll of the very first chapter of this game. So the poll is normally at the top of the chat. Have a look at it, vote, see what you want to do. So we are starting on full power at the moment, memory, as it were. So again, ask questions in chat. I won't necessarily be able to answer them straight away if I'm in some kind of narrative game. That is so cool, Finley. The fact that the poll comes up as well on there is really good. So 75% of you think that we should grab the saw. You're not tied down because you were thought to be dead, Nightshades. Thought to be dead. It's a little bit of a shock that you have not actually be sort of put down. But this is the world of Cyberpunk. It's the world of flesh and metal. There are far more horrors that go on than just the dead coming back to life. And you are prophet to them. You have technology in your body, and that technology is theirs to take, as these two orderlies are going to do it. So your consciousness decides that you are indeed going to try and grab the saw. So this is an active action, so it is going to require a roll. If the technology on our side works, we should be good. We should be rolling 10 dice. We should have a good opportunity of grabbing the saw off them. All it takes is one of you brave people, and rather than just spamming the exclamation mark roll, someone shout up if you want to roll the dice, and then we'll just take it in turns. We can all be civilized, at least outside of the game. So who would indeed, Brooks, like to roll? Professor Lardy is renowned for his ability to get failures, regardless of the number of dice that are rolled. Okay, Nightshades, you have said you go for it. Give us an exclamation mark. Is it just roll, Finley? I think it is. The very first. Oh, okay. So what we have here is a success. There's going to be plenty of rolls to do tonight during our 3 hours. So just so we know mechanically what's going on, you managed to roll 1-1 as well, which means the dice pool now has dropped to 9 dice at the moment. But you managed to grab the electric saw, pulling it away from the orderly. You are in agony. You are wounded, and you have an incredibly bad head. The pain is almost unbearable. So you find yourself prone on this mortuary slab. This is most definitely some kind of organ grinder operation going on here. I think we need to decide what action you are going to take next. So we will go to the next poll. So do you try and attack them, obviously with the saw, threaten them with the saw, question them, or flee? Yeah, deathity, deathity, death. There is lots of options here. It is quite apparent to you all that these are not nice people. The very fact that they said that they were going to take the tech out of your head, either way, the fact that you were still alive seems to indicate that, yeah, not too nice people. If you like seeing my face in darkness, let us know. If not, we can kind of change this up. I think it's to give the Cyberpunk thing a little bit of a theme. Kind of the idea is the shadowy figure in the background, but we are very open to suggestions. Darkness is good. Okay, wow. So we have two. There's only 6 people that voted there, and I believe we've got at least 13 viewers. Um, Who didn't vote? We need a tiebreaker. One person did vote for question them. Let them do. It's because I know the way that these things are. I can't, as the GM. Oh, you was going to question them. Okay. So, chat. What questions would you like to ask them? You will have a couple of minutes to think of some questions, throw it out into the chat, and we will see if they are going to answer them. In fact, no, I am getting ahead of myself. I think, Scarlett, you wanted to roll. Give us a roll first to see whether they are likely to answer the questions, as you don't so much as threaten and intimidate them, but you kind of do this. A success. The dice pool is dropping, but you are indeed beginning to sort of question. That is brilliant. So they will try their best to kind of answer some questions. So the question is what questions? Fire some up in chat. If we don't get anything, I will do some default answers I have already. Yeah. Okay, how did I get here? Who are you? Where am I? Got any painkillers? My head is killing me. Very good. Who am I is good. Where am I? As I said. Good questions. We'll give it another minute or so. What did you do to me? Another good question. I will get my list of things up. How do I escape from where I am? Very good. So, one of the orderlies, they both back away from you. I've really missed you, Matt. You come up with some very special kind of questions. That's more of an intimidation. It is a question. And that's good as well. That's good, Brooks. I can tell you've played games with me before as well. They put their hands up, back away a little. You swing your legs round and stagger to your feet. It's at this point that you notice that you are naked. You have nothing upon you other than this buzzing sore in your hand. Yeah, fortunately, you do currently still have legs, although that would have been hilarious. So they back away. You take a little more attention to your surroundings. The floor is slick with the blood, quite possibly of other people. Some of it your own from a nasty wound within you. There are surgical instruments all around, although surgical is one word. These are definitely used to remove various bits, whether it is organs from the body or technology within the body as well. You notice that these are kind of dressed. They have splash aprons on that are covered in crimson. Their sleeves are rolled up. They have sort of masks across their face to ensure that bits of bone and gristle and blood do not go into their noses and mouths. You also notice that both of them seem to have some kind of ID badges on as well. One of the orderlies' name is Kimei Nagakuri. I'm going to put these up here in chat. Hopefully, we'll do that. So that is one of them, and the other one is a little bit easier to pronounce, Denzel Wagstaff. So that is the two ID badges. Yeah, indeed. So questions, lots of questions. Denzel is the one to speak. Look, man, look, pure business. You were brought in here. The doctor said to get on with business. You were dead. We didn't know you were dead. How you get out of here? Well, through the door. But I mean, what else? You know, no hard feelings. As to who you are, look at your toe. As you look down, you see that there is a toe tag upon that. I don't get acquainted with our projects, as it were. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're all meat and metal to me. But we're only following orders. Only following orders. So, we don't know who you are. We don't really care. We're not getting paid enough to risk our lives over it. Which doctor? Well, which doctor? Sorry, I find that funny all the time. Dr. Zano Blouse. His office is just down the hall. He controls the organ guy, the organ grinder. He controls this facility. Ooh, thank you for the sub, IMC. Really appreciate it. It really does help us. This place is the Morning Star Medical Clinic. We're all licensed and stuff. As where you came from, don't know. The doc will have your file. So, I do not know if there's anything else I can tell you. What? You want my clothes and my ID badge? Are you crazy? No way, man. No way. You're a corpse. At this point, you see that they both go to grab some kind of scalpel and some kind of bone saw, not an electric one. What do you do? Attack. Flee. You have two choices as they are going to jump you. The clothes are fairly well protected. You are technically legally dead, I guess, although no one's looked at the toe tag as yet. Anonymous zombie. So if you are in chat, please speak up. All right. Wow, we are going straight into combat. Well, there are two of them. This makes it difficult. These orderlies are not really combatants, but there are two of them. They are also armed as well. So, one is assuming when you are trying to attack, you are going to use the buzzsaw. So, we're going to need, firstly, an attack roll to see. It's, I think it's looking good. Finley, but yeah, feel free to have a play around. It's all experimental as we go. So we need someone in chat to make that roll for us. Who wants to make the first strike? So shout up if you want to make the roll, just so that everybody's not doing it at the same time. Yeah, go on then. Really simple. It is the exclamation mark and roll command. Success. Very good. The dice roll is now reduced to 7, but you cut deep. I'm going to allow you to answer this question for me, Purple Hobnob, as you made the roll. Was you trying to disable or kill him? Was you going in for a lethal attack or just to disable him? Kill him. Okay. So descriptively, narratively, he kind of moves forward, scalpel in hand, stabs at you. You move out of the way and swing this buzzed saw down, slashing his jugular. More crimson scatters everywhere. The good news is, for you, never damaged his clothes. They are just soaked in blood, pretty much like they were beforehand anyway. It is good. You have done well there, but you are also aware of the second one who is about to swing heavily down upon you with this large bone saw. Not the best of weapons, it is improvised. We said we were attacking, so we need someone else to make the second attack roll. Who wants to do that now? Okay, well, Professor Lardy has said that maybe you don't want to do it, although Electric Spares one says you'll go, so give us a roll. As the conscience is thinking, do we need to kill both of them? Do we need to attack both of them? You attack anyway. Give us a roll, Electric Spares. Another success, and you haven't lowered the dice pool. Well done. Now, same question to you, Electric Spares. Was the attack designed to be lethal or to be disabling? Only you can answer this one, Electric. Only you could answer this one. Disable him so you can use him as a hostage. Okay. You rip past his tendon in his leg. Cheers, Scarlett, for jumping in. Catch us if you can. We are on till 10 tonight, and then we've got an after dark going on from 10:30 till 1 o'clock in the morning. I really appreciate you jumping in. Cheers. So yes, you rip a tendon. He crumples to the ground, falling, lying in the pool of blood, looking at his dead um, friend, if you can have friends in the world of flesh and metal. Uh, it's quite difficult as his head begins to twist and he begins drowning in his friend's blood as it pulls out over the floor. Truly horrific. So, you have killed and disabled those two, so we'll move back to the polls again. Uh, so, we will. Oops. Right. Bloodsuit. Okay. That is truly horrific. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so the next poll is going on. Well, you don't know at the moment. You unfortunately missed the intro in the fact that no one truly knows because you have no memory. You don't know what the police force is like in this world. No one knows as yet, as that is not been fully established. As I say, you only know this room and what is in this room. It could indeed be the whole world. That will come under electric spares, potentially. So you're searching them for the moment. We'll come on to the toe tag in a minute, electric. That is very good. So you search them. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount upon them. They have basic clothes. Beneath their plastic aprons and masks, they have dirty jeans, boots, and shirt. The only thing really of interest, although clothes could be argued are useful at this point, um, is their ID badges. Looking at the ID badges, it gives you their names, which I can tell you again if you need to, but I did put it into chat. Um, yes, Kaio, that is a very good question. A very good statement, rather. Um, Somehow you seem to instinctively know that their ID badges are also, well, they have magnetic strips, so you think they are pass cards, quite possibly for some kind of door. You do have a captured individual. Um, yes, so we've got a few questions here that um, we won't go to the polls for. So the first one, electric spares. You said you wanted to look at the toe tag, and indeed you do look at it, and you see that there are a set of numbers on the toe tag. The set of numbers are V464B0ND. That is the set of numbers and letters. Then purple, you basically see that there is some reflective surfaces here. You kind of look around. Your reflection is not their image on their ID pads at all. But what I would like you to do, purple, is to give me a roll. See whether you notice something. So you specifically, please, sir. It is a success, and you didn't lose any dice there. You are rocking and rolling it. What you do notice is that towards the back of your neck, there is a sort of raised area. You see that in the reflection is those sequence of letters and numbers, almost like some kind of identifying mark. It must be the only way that they have managed to identify you. You also notice that close to it is a number of data ports. These, again, you seem to instinctively know that you can connect various bits of technology to you. So you have determined that you have 2 data ports and that sequence of letters and numbers both on your toe tag and tattooed, imprinted, branded upon the back of your neck. Very good. We still have this circumstance, though, of I lost the last poll. What did the last poll? Remind me, I missed what the last poll result was. Search them. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, yeah, you search them, and that is fundamentally it. The ID badges that seem to have some security tagging upon them, and the clothes that they are wearing. We're going to move to another poll again because I just know how some of your minds work. If it wasn't you lot in the chat, I might just have an automatic answer to this, but we will see. Do you you are all terrible people, and that's why I love you all. So we have the next poll going on. Well, yeah. I mean, technically you could maybe I should do a donation thing where you as the mind can choose crazy options such as that. So take their clothes. Okay, so at least you blend in a little. Like I said right at the beginning of this, what I'm curious about is that you can visualize this however you want. Just like as Kaio said, just take the apron if that's how you visualize it. Um, it's an interesting psychological sort of dynamic. Um, do I have to do another thing to see whether you put the clothes on? I am just assuming that you are putting the clothes on. Um, so you squeeze into these clothes. They're not the best, as I say, dirty jeans, boots, take the ID. The one that you have subdued by cutting a tendon is screaming in agony. And talking of agony, the wound that you have got is also hurting, and that combined with the piercing headache, I'm going to need another roll from you to see if you can stay conscious. So, who would like to make a roll to see whether you can keep it together? Okay, KO, go for it. Give us a roll. You're not going to pass out, but it is a success, yes. Uh, you know that this is going to be an ongoing problem if you don't resolve it anytime soon. So it makes sense that you ask Denzel, who is slowly but surely bleeding on the floor, rolling around in agony. Uh, Medical, you're in some organ grinder. Where is the drugs? Denzel goes, look, look, I don't want anything else. Uh, the secure drugs cabinet is in the doctor's office. It's not far. This is not a big facility. There's just us two, the doctor and Naomi. She's the receptionist. Don't. She's nice. She doesn't really know what we do here. Uh, the the doctor's office is just down the corridor. Now leave me. Uh, leave me, please. So it seems there is a medicine cabinet in the doctor's office. So the question is, uh, oh, content submit. I need to be careful. Some of these polls um, don't allow me to write certain things, so I have to be careful. So one is assuming that you're going to leave this room having sort of examined it anyway, but it's what you do before you do. Like I say, everybody, feel free to chat. It will really help our metrics out if everybody is having a conversation as well within the chat. I know sometimes it kind of seems like the chat stream is spamming by, but we can unlock various VIP emojis and stuff like that the more people that sort of chat. And I really appreciate you all hanging out with me tonight and playing this game. It is super awesome of you all. I hope you're all enjoying it at the moment. Poll ended. Uh, what was the result of that poll? Because I didn't see it. Did it never sent? All right. That is interesting. Uh, do, do, do. Okay, that was bizarre. So we'll try that again. Okay. One could assume the bad outcome. There are no security cameras here. There are no security cameras. Not here. Although Denzel did say it was legal, but you get the impression that their definition of legal is interesting, as they were prepared to finish you off. Oh, sorry about this. I am being still no poll. The poll should be up. Can anybody see that poll? The poll is up there, electric, hopefully. So we have either leave him or finish him 50% each. So what we need someone. Okay, so purple, well, leave him for sure, and we will try it that one more time as people just didn't get a chance to vote. You know the question now. Talk about it in chat. Get it going. Right, this is going to be the last time we'll do this poll. This will be the last time. So people are now discussing it in chat, what you think is the best thing to do, which is quite good. Can everybody see it now? Hopefully that has stopped glitching. We've not used it with so many people before, but we will see. Hopefully everybody can see it now. I love the fact that there are all of these questions going on in their mind. As I say, we do not know this protagonist is. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure our very small channel is not going to break Twitch. No worries, Providence. Yeah, we're doing this till 10, Providence, and then we will be doing our usual things from 10:30 as well. So come on back when you are ready. I hope everything is okay at home. Lovely. So the majority now say leave him. You don't think he is going to die, so he is in agony, and He's definitely going to have a limp for the rest of his life, however long that is. So, with the current equipment upon you, you have the clothes, you have the face mask, you have the apron, and you have the ID card. You go to the door. The door itself doesn't open. You put your ID card to it and it automatically unlocks. It seems there is a degree of security here. You open the door and you enter a small corridor. You can see that there are a couple of doors that come off it. I just need to get my information up. So you can see that there is a doorway may sort of saying office, which you believe is where the doctor is. You see a door saying reception, and you see so. Hey Scarlett, welcome back again. For those of you who've missed sort of things, if you want to sit through it again, you can do. All of these will be sort of on video on demand, VODs. Yeah, this is very, very flexible. You can just say, if you leave this organ grinder, for instance, you can just say we return to the organ grinder. It's a different type of game to the dungeon crawling that we're doing. Do you get from an maybe? I'm loving these questions. So you go to the doctor's office. Okay, perfect. You move along the corridor. The doctor's office is not locked. You open the door and you enter the doctor's office. In there, dressed in a white coat, is a smallish man, greying hair. You notice his eyes have enhancements in. They are sort of glowing with a strange sort of reddish tint as he is sort of rattling away on what appears to be like a cyber deck of sorts, sort of filing equipment. It doesn't take much for you to sort of look around the office, as well as this individual sitting there doing some kind of admin work. He does indeed have the name badge, Dr. Zeno Blouse. But there are other things there as well. Just let me do. One is assuming that you are still carrying the saw with you if you want to be carrying the saw. So in this doctor's room, in this office, you see that there is a secure medical supplies cabinet, most definitely where the drugs are contained. You see that there is a portable computer, some kind of cyber deck of sorts. You also see that Um, there are a pile on the desk of personal effects. Um, there is some damaged street clothing that is relatively obvious, and underneath which a number of other items as well. As you burst into the door, he kind of looks at you, then realizes you are not indeed Denzel. His face begins to sort of bleach as he realizes you are the corpse that he has just authorized the orderlies to operate on. So, what do you do? Yeah, there's some beautiful comments in chat there. Uh, so let us see what your collective consciousness decides to do. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, you did read the toe tag, and it had a combination of letters and numbers on. The combination of letters and numbers do, 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 were V464 B0ND. Um, okay, so threaten him. Uh, he kind of begins to push his chair away. He's a small individual. You are covered in blood, and you have the saw that has got itself sort of powering. It doesn't need to be plugged in or anything. It begins to buzz. This device is designed to cut even the strongest metal augmentations from the flesh surrounding them. It is not a pleasant device. But this is the world of flesh and metal, and people are not easily intimidated. So it is going to have to be a dice roll. Who's going to make the dice roll? Who wants to make the roll? Not it unless no one volunteers. Well, we need. Okay, Scarlet or Professor. Either. Go, Scarlet, make the roll. Dice pool, I think, is either 7 or 6 now. It's slowly but surely depreciating. It's still a success, and still no losses on those ones. Very good. Uh, he is terrified. He is scared as you kind of brandish this. I mean, your visage is quite horrifying. Not only were you the corpse that has recently been delivered to this clinic, this organ grinder that goes by the name Morningstar Medical Clinic. Um, You are covered in blood. You have a buzzsaw, and he acts terrified. He says, "Look, what? You were dead. You were dead. I tested you. You signed no signs of life. It's not my fault. This is we recycle. Recycling is good, is it not? Um, look, look. We can work this out. Yes, we can work this out. Uh, what can I do for you?" So you have him in a situation. Uh, you can ask once again a few questions, and I will answer them in a role play orientated way. Electric spares. Uh, where did you get your medicine lines, and where did you get your compensation policy? He kind of looks like as if you are mad. I'm an organ grinder. I'm not a doctor. We don't do such things like this. We rip things out of people. Can I fix your wound? Can you get some painkillers? Yes, yes. Uh, uh, as a thought comes into his head, uh, I can give you some medication. Indeed, I can. And he puts his hands in the air. Me and Finn have worked together for many few years. I think our thoughts are very, very similar. Um, so I'm just doing this. Okay. So he turns round and goes to go towards the medical cabinet. Um, he kind of looks back and says, "It's in here. I have to get them out of here." So we need to do another poll. Okay, so we have a few options here. So the letters and number sequence was on his toe tag, Scarlet, but you might have missed the fact that he's also got it tattooed on the back of his neck next to a couple of data ports. It seems that this is the only identification that they have for this individual at the moment. Okay, watch him closely. Probably a sensible thing to do, but how closely can you watch him? The pain from your wound and this incredible headache is really affecting you. So, someone give us a roll to see whether you can kind of keep your eye fully upon him. Don't mind who it is, because you are all the same thing. Right, Professor, they want to fail, so it is your go. Hey, success. Well done. Well done. So, you notice two things. You notice that he inserts the code. It is a sequenced number to the secure medical cabinet. It does indeed click open. As that happens, though, you notice as he begins to open the door, he presses something within there. It is a emergency alarm. Um, it is a silent emergency alarm. It's not like everything goes red and starts sort of um, buzzing, but he most definitely has set off an alarm. He grabs a bottle of meds and says, "Here, here you go. If you take 2 of these now, it will clear your head. I've also got this. It's a stim patch. We put it on your wound. It will make you feel much better straight away." So we have options again. You did manage to spot that. But seeing that, do you use the stim patch? Take the meds. Okay. So we have some decisions to make as the yeah, if someone can fill Providence up in what is going on, quick catch up, that will be amazing from the chat. So a silent alarm has been triggered. The doctor is offering you some medications and a stim patch. So we have some trouble going on. You are still in agony and badly wounded. Tell him to turn it off. He kind of looks shocked the fact that you have noticed it. I can't. Once it's done, it's done. It's look, seriously. We pay protection money to a local gang. They're gonna come here and they're gonna make your day very bad. If you think your day's been bad so far, it's about to get a hell of a lot worse. If I was you, just get out of here. You've got the meds. This stuff here, this stuff on here, this is all your gear. Take that. Just get out of here. They'll be here any minute. Any minute. That is what he tells you. So So, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Let us have a look what your collective consciousness wants to do now. As always looking for feedback. This is kind of experimental. I hope you're all enjoying it. Um, but yeah, we are going to sort of try and improve on it. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, indeed. If you ever want to kind of support the stream, really appreciate it. A lot of chatting in chat is going to help us out. It'll get us to unlock some nice VIP um, emojis, which will be very cool as well. But it does take quite a lot to put something like this together. It's the start of some other things that we're trying to do at the moment. Take the stuff and run. Perfect. Okay. So you all gather the equipment, you take the meds, and you leave the office. You only have a finite amount of time, looking around desperately, knowing that this gang is going to turn up. Um, you have some choices. Uh, do, 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 do. Looking around, you can obviously go back into the doctor's office, but I'm assuming you're not going to do that. But I will put it as a choice because, again, um, uh, so you have a number of options to which direction to run. You're not sure which is the way out, but you can have a collective guess. Um, you do have a choice of directions to go. Yep, I hear lots of voices, many of them my NPCs. People think I've made them up. I just channel the voices that are in my head. So hopefully you're getting a number of choices that you think is appropriate. This is amazing as well, Finley. I love the fact that the current poll allows us to see how the voting's going on. That's amazing stuff. And once again, big shout out both to Brooks that is helping mod this at the moment and Finley that has helped put it all together. These guys have been true gentlemen. They are legends. I mean, all I did is spent the last 3 days putting the story together. Wow. So you're going to head to the storeroom. Um, fantastic stuff. As you get to the storeroom, you realize the door itself is locked. But fortunately, you have Denzel's ID badge. You put it to the door, it clicks, and you gain entry. I'm sure you wasn't purple. This organ grinding clinic, this Morning Star clinic, medical clinic, is also got its own little theatre for stage plays and musicals. Um, yeah, Providence. I'm very much thinking about doing a vampire version of this. Thinking about doing a Cthulhu version. Thinking about doing a fantasy version as well. So lots and lots of ideas that we can do. You get into the storeroom, close it behind you, and it is very much exactly what you would imagine. It is full of various. Yeah, My Name is John is a fantastic game as well. Um, it's full of various bits of cyberware that has been taken from poor unfortunates that have fallen foul of this Morningstar medical clinic. You notice that there are a number of sort of cryo boxes that are storing kind of organic organs as well. Um, but you see that there are cyber arms, cyber legs, all sorts of things in here. So, what would you like to do? Do, do, do. Can't believe it, but we are halfway through this chapter as well. It is amazing where the time flies. No, there is no window. This is most definitely a secure storeroom. Um, Absolutely. This is an enclosed room designed. You have indeed sort of backed yourself into a secure area. Flamethrowers are the answer to most things. Okay, search the store. So you search the store, and I'm going to need a roll for it to see whether you can identify some of these items. Most of it is either cyberware or organic organs. Okay, give us a roll. Purple hobnob. Oh, it is indeed a failure. Okay, so this is a cool graphic that we get to do here. So one of our lights go out like that. And it means that our dice pool now is reset to 9. Um, but we are slowly but surely sliding out of uh, memory and time. So uh, you haven't taken the medication or used the stim patch yet. You are backed into this storeroom vault, and on top of that, these gang members are coming searching for you. The culmination of all those things uh, begins to weigh heavily upon you. So heavily, in the fact that I am going to ask for another roll as the pain and the blood seeps out of you. So give me another roll, someone, to see whether you can withstand this pain and uh, blood that is leaking out of you. Well done. You have rolled it. Um, You can do next Providence. We're going to need some rolls, but that is a success. So you manage to contain yourself. You do indeed manage to do some stuff. So you have some more options as you are reminded of the fact you are bleeding and you have this forsaken headache and you have your own stuff. You technically searched the room, but you think you searched it properly, but everything was too much. So whatever is in here, you believe is of no consequence. If you are in chat and you haven't gave us a follow already, please give us a follow. It really helps our sort of metrics out. Shout up if you're enjoying it. Let us know what you are thinking about it, etc., etc. Right, this poll is up. Take the meds. Okay, that never gets old. That never gets old. You take the medication. Very good. It seems the doctor did actually give you painkillers. The pain for the moment begins to subside. No roll needed. Next question. All of this, though, is taking time. So, yeah, Cyberpunk's a really good setting. I'm very eager. There's for people that have played in my games before, there are many layers to this kind of game as well. You will begin to sort of experience and sort of see those layers as you see. I like to hide Easter eggs, some of which are pretending to be Easter eggs to mislead you, so red herrings. Others are actual Easter eggs themselves. So everything that is going on, that there is, yeah, yep, absolutely. I should have really said to you when we were setting this up to basically entitle it Flesh and Metal, because why not? For those of you who don't know, and I think it's probably only Finley, we actually used to run some live roleplay, and we actually ran at one of the Gen Cons an actual live Cyberpunk Flesh and Metal game, taking over their nightclub, which was amazing. And in fact, you will find in a little while a very familiar location, Finley. So use the stim patch. Once again, no roll needed. These in this modern world is designed to basically touch against your skin and the nanites within it do the rest. It was painful, but it seals your wound. And whilst you think the painkillers are just subduing your headache, this stim patch has most definitely. Oh, thanks very much for the support, guys. I really appreciate that. Um, Technically speaking, now you get to speak a truth as well. I mean, you might not want to do that, but it is your right, as £10 buys you a truth. You're familiar with the way that this works. Um, you put it into the donation description. Okay, what was the donation description? Aha, thank you very much. That works really nicely as well, although I do need to read it. I need to have a look at this. Yep, it is a little long. I just need to access the description. Right there. I think I can do this by playing around with this. No, that is not doing it. Okay. You have written an essay. So, no, I can't. I can see the first bit. Yeah, if you can type it into chat so everybody can see it. I can see the first bit that you hear that while the gangs are running the security, another party is also watching the building, a single lone figure watching nearby. But then I can't see the rest of it. So if you can copy and paste it, that would be really useful. Truths are very, very important. It finishes off, are they good or evil? Who knows? All right. Perfect. Truths can be good, can be bad, can be world building. They can introduce NPCs. They allow you all to put stuff within the game. So just to clarify again, with that truth, I hear that whilst the gangs are running the security, another party is also watching the building, a single lone figure watching nearby. Are they good or are they evil? Who knows? Really appreciate the support there, Brooks, as well. It goes towards trying to improve these streams. We are desperate. My computer is about to have some kind of embolism. Okay, with all of that excitement, we will try and remember what we was doing. Yes, you put the stim patch on. The stim patch works. It is not something that you will need to worry about again unless you take another wound. So your headache is subdued, and you think that might return if you don't keep taking the painkillers, but you are now trapped in this storeroom. Let us see what you are going to do next. Seems like I'm having difficulty spelling the word store. Do you leave the store or... Hey, you might, yeah, absolutely. The store can be your home for now. Boom, boom. Okay, I can't believe we're already halfway through the time. Will we, in this chapter 1, ever just get out of the doctor's surgery, the Morning Star medical clinic? So we're almost done with this poll. We've got, I think, according to my thing, up to 20 viewers at the moment. Yeah, D&D is great fun. Search your equipment, excellent stuff. Yeah, this pile of gear that you've got, um, it there's some damaged street clothing. It looks as if there are a number of bullet holes within it. As you kind of look at your wounds, yeah, that quite possibly is uh, where you got badly injured. The clothes do fit properly, um, which is very good to see. Um, Once again, I'm keeping the descriptions very, very sort of open because I want you to all visualize the look and the feel of your character. Um, and that's the concept of the game. Other than that, though, it looks like you might well have been robbed. Um, there is nothing else of any importance there, but at least now you haven't got a plastic apron and mask that is covered in the blood and viscera of many of the poor unfortunates that have fallen foul of this Morningstar Medical Clinic. And then does something catch your eye? We do need another roll to see whether we can see whether we find something else amongst our clothing. This is an active action. So, Providence, if you're still there, you said you wanted to make a roll. Let us see if you can do that. Yeah, cheers, guys. We've got a ton of people in chat. Feel free to chat because it really does indeed. Well done, Providence. You've not lost any dice to ones and you've got successes. That is perfect. It kind of almost in a side pocket. You know the way that sometimes these jackets have multiple pockets, some of which you never sort of notice and forget. Tucked safely into there is the a book of actual matches. It has a number of the matches taken out of, and it has the insignia, the sigil, the design of a nightclub. Of course, because you have no memory, you don't recognize the name, but the name of the nightclub is the Loophole. I'll just put that into chat now, if I can. Boom, 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 boom. The Loophole. With that magnificent roll as well, though, you also see that there is another set of writing upon it. Written on the inside of the matchbook is another set of numbers. Boom, 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 boom. The letters and numbers read as this: L1 MB0. Um, you don't know what this sequence of numbers could be. It could be some code, uh, but that is written upon the inside of the matchbook. So you have your street clothes. It looks like anything else of importance might well have been taken from your body before you um, were discovered. Um, but you do find this matchbook, and on this matchbook is the letters and numbers L1MB0. Okay, so you are stuck in this storeroom. You have spent time examining your items, putting your clothes on. You now have some hard decisions to make. You have gave enough time for the street gang to get close. So, do you initially stay hidden? If I could write, I'd be really good at this. Social skills are most definitely a viable option as well, without a doubt. Indeed. I mean, you could go back and potentially do this. It's just, do you want to try and hide within this store itself, or are you going to try and make a run for it, basically? Well, you've just got rid of all of your clothes that might indicate you work here, and you've put your street clothes back on. So that might be somewhat more difficult, Electric. So you leave the store. As you leave the store, you have a number of directions you can head in. Boom, boom. Yep, that is not necessarily a bad thing, but we will see. Do you go? Okay, so off we go again. Yep, I am loving all of your actions. I would very much like to imagine that this is a tabletop game where you actually have to come up with these ideas with me as your GM, as I see that most of you are trying to do that anyway. Indeed. Let us see if you encounter anything. We'll see where you are planning to go. Do you try and find an exit? Do you Walk with her. Yeah, absolutely. You should try and do that in the Tower of the Arcane Brotherhood on Friday night, Brooks. Yeah. Uh, yeah, there is a game called Everyone is John where you do play an individual with a split personality, and that is great fun as well. If you've not played it or seen it, I definitely recommend you Google it and check it out. It's very good. So we head to the reception. Um, okay, you walk in there, and there is indeed some people in the reception. You see that there is. I call up my. I've actually made notes and everything. Um, you see that there is a receptionist sitting at the reception. She's looking up at three gang members. The receptionist is looking concerned, sort of nodding. Um, you see that she seems to be aware that the alarm has gone off as well. As you exit, they look at you, their eyes narrow. You see, as gang members, they are wearing um, sort of leathers. Some of them are armed with guns. Some of them are armed with knives. There is three of them. There are two males, one female. Female seems to be in charge of them. Um, so we have a dangerous situation here. The receptionist is aware that you have been brought in. We are going to see what you want to do. There's lots of reasons why this might work, and this is one of the great things. At the moment, you have the dice on your side. Um, the crazier things that you do, the more that the dice pool is going to reduce. This is why I'm giving you a chance to use social skills first. If social skills, yeah, Denzel said that Naomi's a nice person and she doesn't know about the things that are going on. You are correct, which is why I'm giving you chance to try and bluff. Okay, seven of you decide that you want to do this. This is amazing. This is going to be an active test of your skills to try and get your way. So, who's going to make this? Yep, everybody agreed. It's bound to be a failure. We will see, though. We need someone to make that roll. Okay, Brooks, You set a truth. It's a success. The dice pool is out. What do you say to them, Brooks? I'm going to make you actually do some work here as well as you supporting us, throwing some cash our way, and then succeeding on the dice roll. I want you to actually write what do you say to them that they find so believable. It's a success, so it's going to work. I'm just curious, and I'm sure it's going to be stunning what you say to them. I think that the doctor is trying to hold things from you. I'm a journalist. Okay, perfect. The woman looks at you, kind of nods. She says, "Right, no one hides things from the fallen. Uh, let's go and get him." They begin to grab their chains, uh, bicycle chains, motorbike chains. They grab their guns and they head off into the back room. Naomi looks up to you and goes, um, uh, uh, "Who are you? Who who uh, who are you? A journalist? You didn't get in this way." Um, and with that, what do you do? Um, pum, 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 pum. So here we go. Have a few options. Flee, attack her, threaten her. What do you do? Yeah, Flesh and Metal Cyberpunk is a fantastic genre. Um, as great as all of the other ones, really. Fantasy. It's coming to it. It looks like you are going to flee. Perfect. Okay, so without doubt, you burst out of the doors into what is um, a street of sorts. The neon electric lights are blinking on and off. There are oil barrels burning with various down and outs gathered around it. You do notice that there are indeed three motorbikes parked at the front of the Morning Star um, Morning Star Medical Clinic. These no doubt belong to the fallen. I think they're called the fallen gang members. Yep, the fallen gang members. Um, there is no idea to you. Yeah, they are the fallen. I just need to double check my notes. I kind of need to keep the continuity because I am not just winging it. You can't see any particular direction you can leave and blend into this urban environment. There is a small amount of road traffic, battered vehicles. You can see in the distance high-rised structures and buildings, but you have entered this street without any credits, without anything other than your clothes and your matchbook and your saw, which I'm assuming you still have. Okay, you have the painkillers as well. So, what do you do? Okay. There's plenty of the urban environment to flee into. I should indeed perhaps update your. So you do have. So that should update it. I don't think you picked up anything else, did you? See, that is a question, Finley. That is a question. This is what is all about a world building. Uh, I'm going to say these bikes, these particular bikes, the fallen bikes, are mechanical rather than high tech. Uh, all of the high tech has been uh, uh, destroyed, deactivated, because this is a street gang and it is a lot easier. You don't even think that these bikes belong to. Uh, they obviously now belong to, but originally have been stolen by this bike gang called the Fallen. So with that, you try to steal one of these bikes. Um, okay. I like the idea saying that you're going to deactivate two of them using the saw. So you do that. It is a simple enough action to run the saw over two of these bikes. But to get one of these bikes started, to ride it, your memory is hazy. Give us a roll, somebody, to see if you can steal one of these bikes. Okay, Finn, give us a go. Give us a go. So we're telling this a Cyberpunk. It is indeed like riding a bike. It is a success, but the dice pool now has dropped to 4 dice. Well done. You leap upon this bike, having destroyed the others. You begin to rev it up. It has one of those big engines. It is not a silent bike. As you begin to head off down the street, dodging in between a number of these battered cars, burnt out buses, um, various um, sort of homeless getting as best as they can on the streets. You notice that spilling out of the Morningstar Medical Clinic, you see the fallen see you drive off, and they unload their weapons. You have almost got away. Um, I need a final roll for this scene to see whether you or the bike doesn't get hit. Who's going to do this roll? This will. Who is feeling lucky? Are you feeling lucky, Punk? Are you? Don't know whether that was exactly the line from the movie, but I'm sure someone in chat knows. Oh, there we go, Professor. There we go. Okay, it does not go well. The bullet catches the bike. The bike spins. You, in your maneuverings, skid the bike. You tumble, thrown 10, 15, 20 feet as the gravel burns through. Fortunately, you're wearing hardy, tough street clothes. Unfortunately, that is yet another symbol down. Okay, good news is, oops. So Brooks has just done a reroll. Okay. Oops, Finley, that is not right because Brooks has just brought a re-roll. Okay, so technically speaking, the re-roll is with only 4 dice, not 9 dice. So can we reduce the dice number of dice in the dice pool? Yeah. We're just quickly, we've got this. I will for now put that back up there. The light is on. Okay, that's perfect. I appreciate the donation as well. You do get to do it. Okay, Prof, let's see if you can live up to your name again. To be fair on you, there are only 4 dice. So let's see if you can do it this time. No, there we go. So we will take this off and we will now. Was definitely worth a try. You might have got away with it. You are a distance away from the fallen. They go and look at their bikes. Their bikes are badly damaged. They begin to chase after you. We have gone up to 8 dice now. Now just reset it up to the 8 dice. I think that is probably best. So we will start a new poll. So you have these options here. The good news is that the dice pool goes up to the maximum amount of memory. They do have guns. So the question is, do you feel lucky? You have 8 dice. There are 3 of them. This is Cyberpunk. This is flesh and metal. Technically, you're going to need 3 successes to take these 3 gangers out. If they were heavily armed and got more equipment, then you would have to have a certain extra number of successes as well. Okay, so we have flee. Now, this would be an active action, but I will refer you back to the truth that was spoken, and this is the power of truths. There is supposedly another group, a lone individual, that may be good, may be bad, also observing the medical clinic, and this truth rings home. From the shadows close by, you hear, "You, this way, quickly, come with me if you want to live." And apologies for that quote, but it seems appropriate. You do, though, have a choice. I'd like to point out that the truth was this individual could be good or bad. I am limited to words in the poll, so I would have preferred to put mysterious stranger, but can't because it's too long. It is cliche, but it's classic. It is classic. Boom, 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 boom. I really need to work out how we can get some kind of music legally to put into these streams. It'd be very cool. You can just hear the Terminator music now going on in the background. Okay. I'm sure your parents told you never to go with strangers, but that is your choice. So, it seems that the truth for the moment has paid off. Beautiful purple, beautiful. Okay, and I don't know why. I say I really don't know why, but as we say, Okay, so you head off with the mysterious stranger. I'm just going to call up my notes. That makes your action simple, which fundamentally means that you evade the fallen. Just calling up my beautiful set of notes. As you make your distance away, you unfortunately do not have the bike anymore. That came with that failure. Kind of looks at you. I thought you were dead, he says. We heard that things did not go well. Do you remember anything? He waits for your answer. One presumes you tell the truth. He sighs, looks you up and down. Right. There is little time and much to do. Your name is Bond. I think you might have taken a blow to the head or something else. And talking of that, you better come with me. He leads you through alleyways. You climb over gated fences. You remember nothing then. I will try and fill you in. I am CH405. I am what to say, a hacker. We are known as the Sinless. That is, we are without sin. He looks at your blank expression, sighs again. Sin, S-I-N, synaptic identification number. It is a way that the powers that be monitor the population. It is encoded in us at birth. It can be used for darker means, we believe anyway. We are the resistance in this time. We are losing a battle. You were tasked with delivering an important package, one that will help us in our fight. I guess you failed in that mission. Can you remember anything at all? This is where we go to a poll. all the things. Sorry, I get deep in thought. I have to remember that I'm supposed to be talking to you all. It is a lesson I need. A lesson I need to do. I'm on camera. Woo! There we go. I've even forgotten that as well. Time is ticking away. And boom. Try and remember. Wow. All I can say is this is going to be painful, even with the painkillers. A try and remember roll as you try and force your mind to go back into the darkness. I need a roll. Who's going to make a roll for me? Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's fine. I like the fact that it's a minute. We perhaps need to sort of work on something. Um, I'm sure there's kind of various sound effects for different genres we might be able to look up. Yeah, anybody in chat, feel free to say that you want to make a roll and we will make a roll. That'll be awesome. Like I say, there are quite a few hints, Easter eggs. Oh, look at that, Scarlet. Very good. You are successful. Uh, it does not come easy though, as you begin to stretch your mind and you have flashes, absolute flashes, images. The pain is excruciating as you try and try and try to remember past, but there are gaping holes in your mind. You don't know whether it's just the collected items that you have, the information that you've got that is playing tricks upon you. You remember heading to the nightclub called the Loophole. You remember it was important that you met with someone. Uh, the name, the name you try hard to remember, and you remember, yes, the owner. You needed to see the owner, uh, Miss Dubois, uh, Nastasia Dubois. Put that into chat for you. But you didn't get there. You didn't. You got to the club and you met with someone else. You met with, yeah, the name scribbled, the name scribbled on your matchbook. You met with him and they, yes, they double crossed you. L1 MB0 double crossed you, told you to come out into the alley, shot you. You managed to run, you managed to escape. You headed towards a safe place, a place that no one really would know, a place that you were brought up in, uh, a place known as the House of Eternal Sunshine. It is an orphanage that you spent most of your formative years. You instinctively tried to get to it, but you failed. You collapsed. You bled out, so you thought, in an alleyway close to it. And that is all you can remember. Do you have any other questions, chat? So, your newfound companion says, we must locate them. Where are you at the moment? He looks at you and says, well, this district is called Purgatory. That is where we are. It is a difficult place to leave. You, I believe, made a deal with our leader. You made a deal with the leader of the Sinless, that if you delivered this information, then you could get out of here. You could leave this district. You were carrying the information was in your head. It was a data package. We can see if it's in there. But we would have to go somewhere else to do that. It was important. Is there any way of you knowing you can trust me? You're alive, aren't you? You're alive at the moment. That's about as best as it gets. A weapon? Have you got any creds on you? Did you manage to get anything left? No creds? This is just great. This is just peachy. We have no idea where Limbo is. Well, don't take this the wrong way. You were looking for a way out of here. Our leader trusted you. You say you were mugged. You say this Limbo has taken the package. How do we know that you tried to double cross us? You're asking me all these questions, but now it comes to my mind. Maybe you sold us out. And with that, he starts going for his weapon. This is the world of flesh and metal. Trust does not come easy. Okay, so do you try and calm him down by persuading him, intimidate him, attack him, or do you flee? Once again, this is the world of flesh and metal. Well, it has just worked out that you were given important data and you have lost that data. But do you truly trust him? That is the question. All these questions, all these answers, you've managed to get some information, but it is so easy to be turned by the enemy. Persuade, okay. He's grabbing what appears to be a large gun. Yep. Beautiful chat going on there. So I really like that IMC. So why don't you give us a persuasion roll? Let us hope this goes your way. You do have quite a number of dice. So you just do exclamation mark roll and let us see what the dice tell us. Okay. Do you want to give us a roll or do you want somebody else to roll? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, not that I'm touting for an extra pound. The dice pool is only 5, just be aware of that. But I think the link is on the main chat channel. If you go to the Twitch main page, does that link take you directly through to it? I think Finley's put the link up there. There you go. You can just click on that link. Bearing in mind, it will just give you 5 dice to try and do the reroll if you want to. I am more than happy. This is strange, really, because I should be trying to tout for money, and I quite like it. The fact that you're going to go down to 7 now. There we go. Oh, wait there. Oh, it's all going crazy now. Okay, so well done. So purple has that is very nice. Thank you very much for all the donations. So the dice pool with the £5 one, and we really appreciate that, has been pushed right back up. It should be 8, I believe. So dice pool is now back up to 8, and Providence tipped us £1 for a re-roll as well. This is comboing off each other. So Providence, well done. You have purchased a re-roll, and purple has increased the dice pool back up to 8. Let's see where that dice falls, though. Can you persuade him? Providence, give us that roll. It's exclamation mark roll. And once again, really appreciate the support. You're all legends. I know that not everybody can. A success, very good. The individual known as CH405 takes a sigh. Hosters is gun. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's you have to understand that yeah, I can't even say the word. Um, the powers that be, um, they get to us. They turn us. If what you are saying, this is who he calls them, the higher enlightened legislative. You get signs that this is the governing body, that makes the laws. They get to us, they turn us against each other. Maybe this is what has happened to Limbo. You were right, we should work together. We have a number of options. What would you think our best options are? Do you want to? Um, Yep, no worries. A beer from the cellar is very nice. Once again, there are Easter eggs. Easter eggs within the game, red herrings within the game. And we are getting more and more information out there. So you do have a choice. Everybody can vote if you are in chat. Chocolate is always good. I maybe eat a little too much chocolate. Is the data time sensitive? We'll probably have to speak to our leader. The leader is she holds most of the information. So it's twisted and turned there. The Sinless Hideout was ahead, but you have chosen to go to the loophole. No, that is not a thing really. It is me making excuses so that I can just eat even more chocolate. It's me pretending and protesting too much. Okay. Yeah, as the Streamlabs reminder said, please chat if you are in chat. Just say hi or whatever. The more people that we have chatting in the group really helps our metrics. And whilst I keep saying it, we do, yeah, everybody that is watching us, we really appreciate it. Hope you're finding it interesting. We're trying out a new way to do a large scale sort of role playing. Hopefully everybody's having fun. It's experimental in its way. So with chaos by your side, you move through purgatory. This is a desolate urban waste zone. It is terrible in the extreme. This is where those that have no hope come. to live whatever scant life they can before they die. It takes you a while to eventually arrive in the club known as the Loophole. It is an archaic building. Music is spilling out, industrial, loud. Um, there are a couple of bouncers on the door. They seem to recognize both you and your companion. They nod, push the doors, and as the doors open, the wall of sound washes over you even more. It's the kind of music that you don't just hear, you feel as you begin to vibrate. The dance floor is busy, heaving. The lights are flashing. The DJ on a platform preaching to his congregation. You scan around and you see some faces that you are not sure about. Faces that you seem to recognize. Let us see what we can do. Oops. So, let us have a look at my information. You seem to remember a few people. I don't know whether I can get all this information in to these, but you seem to recognize or sort of see three individuals in your vision as your memory is trying to re-establish itself. One is a figure that you've already been told about, Nastasia Dubois. Um, there is an individual called Ginger that you believe is a waitress that works here, and the other one you can't miss at the moment. The actual DJ goes by the name Carnage. Who do you try and find? Professor, you don't have any money at all. That is. Yeah, the thing, Finley, is this is a world building game. So any of you out there that wants to tell us a truth can do. And um, and the truth, whilst it does cost a little money, but it becomes proper important. Either I'll blend it in with the material I've already written, or you might even add in extra things as well. It is how you actually met Chaos. Find Ginger. Indeed, you look through the throng, the congregation of dancers and around, and you do indeed see a familiar face. Something flashes of recognition. You fight your way through the sweat-filled dance floor, having to literally push your way through. There are so many people on it, all dancing in unison, swaying backwards and forwards to this incredibly loud industrial sound. You get to Ginger. She looks shocked to see you. Ah, I, vagabond, I thought you were dead. Uh, that's what I heard. That's what they said. They said you were attacked out in the alley. You went after them, and yeah, you tasted your last bullet. They, Limbo, Limbo's who I'm talking about. He returned. Uh, it is good to see you. Um, I feel wrong to ask, but did you get chance to look into um, did you get a chance to look into that situation with my brother? You can't remember. You can't remember what she is talking about. I've not seen Limbo at all. Not since they came back. Um, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I could try. My brother. Uh, my brother is an idiot. That is who my brother is. Uh, my brother's called Cooter, and he's got himself mixed up into a whole host of trouble. Um, you said you were going to look into it and uh, deal with it. He's got himself an addiction to the better than life chips. He's in debt to the fallen, and you said you was going to go to the den and sort it for me. You know, you sure you can't remember? Right, time for a new poll. Okay, so what do you tell her? What indeed do you tell her? Okay, wow, we've suddenly had a huge moral change there. She kind of looks surprised, wide-eyed. There's not many around here that would do such a thing, but thank you. She leans forward and gives you a peck on the cheek. As she begins to pull away, she says, "All the beers tonight are on me." Um, she gives you a wink. Um, she tells you again where the BL, sorry, BTL den is. You make a mental note of that. She says, "Is there any way else I can help you? I have no idea where Limbo is." Um, they might be doing some work for the Fallen, so it's possible. It is possible there. Is there anything else that you want to ask her for the moment, or are you going to move on? I will leave it for a minute, and then if there's no other questions currently, you are given the direction of this BTL den. Good, thanks. Good. No, he came back in. I questioned him because, well, you know, we've got history, and she kind of smiles at you again. He answered curtly, and then left. He didn't speak to anybody else, just left. Why do you think that? You think they did something to you? Do you think that he was behind something? Uh, Listen, you need to have a few beers, relax. You look like you've been through the grinder. We'll do that, and then we'll look at what else you can remember. And with that, she heads to the bar, brings a number of beers across to you and to Chaos, and you begin to look around this nightclub known as the Loophole, realizing that maybe you want to speak to Miss Dubois or DJ Carnage. You have the location of the BTL den, so you can also head down there. You have found the information out that it is indeed fronted by the Fallen as well. And it is with all that information sinking in that we are getting ready to end this session. So, thank you very much, everybody. This is chapter 1. You have managed to uncover your identity, started getting some of your memories back, realizing you have been double crossed by this individual called Limbo. Found out that there is a resistance called the Sinless. There is a gang close by called the Fallen. There is an unscrupulous medical facility called Morning Star. So we will see where it takes us. Watch out on socials. If everybody's up for doing this again, I'm more than happy to move to chapter 2 of this Flesh and Metal. Thanks to everybody that has supported us. Every little helps. It really does. It goes towards collecting the equipment. I'm trying to be innovative and trying to get as many people that can get involved in these things as possible. We're also looking at maybe doing some live streaming of some of the games that we run as well. But you will see as the story goes, there is you will see things come out. I suggest maybe if you watch the video on demand again, there is a number of hints and collections. So we'll look at doing a second chapter. It most probably will be on a Wednesday night, and it might be as soon as next Wednesday if everybody's all up for that. As I said, if you can give us a follow, if you can give us a sub, that would be amazing. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's a free sub if you're not subbed to anybody else. Keep us in touch, but really appreciate all of your help and support and for taking part. Big shout again to both Finley and Brooks for all the support they've gave me over the last kind of few months, to be honest. Stay tuned though. In half an hour, we're going to do a mini version of this, but in a fantasy area. You have just been washed down a yeah, I'll do the event on Facebook for chapter 2. Absolutely. I'll send you a message as well, Purple. I really appreciate you jumping by. It's great to connect again. Yeah, so I'm not going away. I'm going to be back in half an hour to do a fancy version of this for half an hour, and then I'll be doing my speed run of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines Part 2. Thank you very much. Big loves to everybody. Stay safe in these uncertain times, and thanks again for all of your support and taking part. Till next time, take care.